Rider fans, and welcome to the Bronx Hot Seat, our show that gives you an up-close and personal glimpse into some of our teams, coaches, and student athletes. I'm your host, Karen Torsha, and I'm here today as we do a very special edition of the Bronx Hot Seat, where instead of focusing on one of our teams, we're actually going to talk to our new head men's basketball coach, Kevin Baggett. Many of you are probably already aware of Coach Baggett. He's been here for 6 years on the sidelines as an assistant and associate head coach. And after spending 16 total years as an assistant at a number of different institutions, he's now getting his shot to kind of head up his own Division I program here at Rider. So without further ado, it's time to actually put Coach Baggett on the hot seat, or Bags. I may refer to him as Bags throughout this entire show because many of us here do refer to him as that. So we're going to put him on the hot seat. So welcome, Bags. I'm glad you could join us today.
It's very hot. Very hot.
It is.
I'm looking forward to it.
I did ask you this before. I'm gonna ask you this again. But I'm sure you've seen previous episodes of this show.
Yes, I have.
Right?
You've
yes.
done a great job.
You have, right?
Yes,
what was your favorite one?
My favorite one was with. Let me think. Because there's been a number of them. I would say the one you did one with Novar Gadsden a while back ago.
Did I? Did I do it with Novar Gadsden?
Yes,
I
you
might
did.
have.
See that?
Okay.
I know this hot seat.
I thought you were going to say the one with women's basketball that Carly Brown just filled you in on before we actually started.
No. Actually, I do know that one, but definitely the one with Novar.
Okay. Well, then you know how this works. I'm going to kind of take you through some basketball-related questions.
All right.
And then I'm going to put you on the hot seat.
Nice.
And those could be questions about just about anything. So the important thing is that you just answer first thing that comes off your mind. Gets a chance to know you a little bit better. So we'll start with the easy stuff. So first of all, congratulations again. You know, I was really happy for you and happy for your family when you know, Don mentioned that he was going to elevate you to the head coach. It was, you know, I think it's a really great thing for Rider and obviously for you. And I know it's been probably pretty much a whirlwind since you got that call. Tell us, like, I mean, have you had a chance to breathe and really take it all in yet?
Not yet. Honestly, I haven't. Actually, after I got the job, my next thought was, all right, let me get my staff in here. First of all, let me go back. I wanted to call all the players and parents, let them know that I was going to be named the head coach here. I wanted to assure them things weren't going to change. I'm excited. I was looking forward to coaching the player, and also I told the parents I'm looking forward to coaching their sons. So no, I haven't had a chance to exhale yet. I'm still in the process of doing some interviews. In fact, one today as far as my staff is concerned. And once I can get my staff in place, I'll reflect back a little bit then. So
I do have to ask them, once you got the call from our athletic director, Don Harnum, saying that he was going to hire you, what was the first thing you did? The very first, I mean, I know you alluded to it yesterday in your press conference, but I think you need to share it for anybody who maybe wasn't here to see that.
Well, the first thing I did was I just had a chance just to reflect back in terms of where I've come from, all the wonderful people that were involved in helping me get to that day, that decision that Coach Harnum had promoted me to be the head coach. So it was something that really gave me just a chance to reflect back on all the people that played a part in this opportunity.
So who got the first call with the news? Probably, you might have to think. You might have to think. You know, think back to this one.
Actually, my best friend got the first call.
Is that Byron?
His name is Byron Taylor. Actually, Byron and I have grown up from when we were in first grade. We've been through a lot together. We've always known that once this opportunity ever presented itself, I was going to be the first one to make the call to him. He was my best man in my wedding and everything, and he's just been my best friend from day one.
So you did kind of allude to this already, but you've been on the job exactly a week.
Right.
And I know you said you know, called the players, called the parents, that kind of stuff. What's and you know, looking at the staff, but other than those things, what's really a priority over the last 7 days? Like, what was like, okay, this I definitely have to do right now?
I would say, one, just again, the priority for me is getting a good staff in here. That to me is the most important. Really, a lot of people don't realize your first staff kind of signifies what your program is going to be. And I'm looking for passionate coaches, and I'm looking for coaches that can come in and get our guys excited, develop our guys, and just help me take this program and support me to take this program to a whole nother level, so I can make all those Rider fans out there proud.
Well, yesterday, obviously, we had your introductory press conference, and I think there were over 100 members of the media, your family, faculty and staff, former players, current players, former teammates of yours, other current head coaches, boosters, alums, I mean, you name it, there were people here. What was it like for you as you got up to the podium to address them for the first time and just saw that crowd of people out there? And I have to say that I've been here, you know, for several coaching press conferences, and that's probably the biggest turnout that I've ever seen at one of them.
It was very emotional for me, and if I had time, and I know I've been told that it was a long-winded press conference, by the way.
I didn't say that. I just want to put that out. I did not say that.
If I could have thanked everybody that was in the room, I would have. I knew, you know, I was under some time constraints, but again, I'm just so thankful for so many people that have been in my life and the impact that they've had in my life and the support. That if I could have thanked everyone, including the fans, my family, the boosters, the media people who I'm looking forward to developing a relationship with, I would have thanked everybody there.
So Don Harnum stressed several times at the press conference yesterday that while you were a hire of convenience, you weren't the convenient hire. And, you know, I know some people were confused by that, but really what he meant was that you paid your dues for 16 years. Yes, some might say it was easy for us to just elevate you on the time frame and not have to go through everything, but how important was it for you to gain experience under the number of head coaches that you've been with? You know, whether it's looking at their different coaching styles and philosophies and everything to kind of get you to this day where you're now a head coach?
I think the one advantage that I have over a lot of guys that may have not been in as many programs, I've had a chance to be exposed to 6 different coaches. I've had an opportunity to know what I do like, what I don't like, some of the things that I've learned from them, whether it be good or bad. And so along the way, I was always taking notes, mental notes, taking notes down, you know, things that I liked, things that I didn't, things I thought that they did great, motivational wise with the players and boosters and everyone involved with the programs. And so that gave me a head start in terms of just thinking how I wanted to run my program if and when I got that opportunity. And so, you know, as time went on and even having been here, and as I talked about in the press conference yesterday, it just allowed me to be very hands-on with just doing particular things and thinking, okay, if I had to do it this way in my program, how would I do it as opposed to Coach Dempsey, or would I do it the same way? And so all of those things and all the experience, all the clinics, all the camps and everything, just I think has really built me into who I am or made me who I am today. And I think I'm ready for this opportunity. And again, I know you talk about the 16 years, but to me, it's the how much you learn and what you learn. And a lot of people tell you it's a lot of what not to do as opposed to what to do. So I'm excited to.
So speaking of maybe coaching styles and philosophies and things you learn every year, what can we expect to see from you on the sidelines, and what's your philosophy going to be? I know, you know, some people know how well you're associated with Bruiser Flint, of course, and some of his antics on the sidelines, and then, you know, some of your other former teammates or friends that are coaches or coaches you've worked under. What's going to be your actual sideline demeanor? What can we expect from you, and what's your coaching philosophy?
I'm still trying to figure out my sideline demeanor. I know what I want it to be, but once the game gets live and going and all I think the way that I want to handle it, I'd rather not stand up. Because again, and I say that, I don't know if there's going to be anything I can do once the game goes live to help impact those guys any more than get them prepared, get them ready for the games through the scouting reports, through practice. And so I just want to be one of those guys that sit on the bench, have an opportunity to listen to our coaches, take their input and feedback, and be ready to make adjustments and see everything as it's going live. But if I'm standing up and I'm coaching and I'm yelling and everything, I don't think I'm going to be able to really focus on the job at hand in terms of being able to make those game time adjustments.
So tell us a little bit about what your coaching philosophy is.
Well, from an offensive standpoint, I want to be able to get back to what we used to do when we originally got here. I want to be able to get the ball up and down the court in transition. I want to try and score early in offense so we don't allow the defense to get set up. And then, again, I want to continue to run motion offense like we did here with Coach Dempsey. Our guys are familiar with our offense, which I'm happy about. Again, this is a smooth transition with mine taking over the job. And then defensively, I want to get after it. I want to press. I want to keep teams down in the low 60s as opposed to where we've been the last couple of years. I want to get into passing lanes. I want to be able to create turnovers. As I talked about in the press conference, we were last in the league in terms of forcing turnovers. So I want to get back to forcing turnovers, making teams uncomfortable running their offense.
So now that you're a head coach, obviously, and we talked a little bit about this earlier too, it's obviously one of the most important things is surrounding yourself with a great staff.
Right.
And you've kept Mike Witkowski and elevated him from assistant coach to associate head coach.
Right.
What does Mike bring to the table for this program, and what kind of led you to make that decision?
Well, Mike has been here from day one since I arrived as well. I think Mike is very well-rounded. I think he does a great job, and he has the respect of our guys. I think he does a very good job in terms of coaching on the court as well. And just having him here, and again, the continuity and stability in our program, having him on the staff and knowing me and being familiar with me is definitely a comfort to me. I just think he's going to do a great job. I think Mike is headed to be a head coach as well at some point. I'm not sure what level, but I do think he'll be a head coach one day. And I value guys like that.
What types of guys are you looking to bring in? I know you said, ones that are dedicated, but what are your expectations from them coming in? Are you going to expect them to be kind of challenging you? Or are you going to expect them to be sort of a little laid back and just kind of let you do your thing? Or?
No, I want the guys that I want to hire, again, like I just talked about Mike, I want guys that want to be head coaches. I want guys that want to come in and bring ideals to me. I want guys to get after our guys just as much as I want to get after them. I want their support. I want them thinking about our program, again, the way that I did as an assistant, as if it would be my program, and if it was my program, how would I run it? And those are the kind of guys that I'm looking for. I want guys that get in here, get engulfed in the campus here, campus life, with the professors, with the students, with the fans. I need guys that are very visible, and again, I just need passion.
That would be helpful. Visible guys will be helpful for me in my job. And I will appreciate that.
My guys will be there to be visible.
Excellent. So let's talk about the team a little bit now. I spoke a little bit to Anthony Miles and even John Thompson yesterday, and I know they were approached by some members of the media. How important really was it to the current team members and even the freshmen that have already committed? I know, Khalil's been on campus.
Right.
I've had a chance to talk with him a few times, but how important was it, do you think, to them in terms of the consistency? Again, you kind of alluded to this before, but it was really nice to hear, your two upperclassmen coming back saying, it was a relief to them.
Well, not only do I have a relationship with them, I love these guys. I love our players, and it's more than just basketball. It's a family. And, to be here and the continuity, the stability, and having those guys and having me and knowing that things aren't going to change drastically was good for them. It was good for me. I know they're excited because I've talked about this whole situation. I've talked about this throughout my entire time here. Just letting those guys know, hey, it's someday I want to be a head coach, and I'm getting after you guys. It's because I care about you. I'm getting after it because I want you guys to be the best. And at the end of the day, I want to be a head coach. And those guys always understood where I came from. I'm always honest with those guys, and I think they can appreciate it. It's not always there were times they didn't want to hear it,
of course,
but they respected it.
Right.
And again, the relationship that we have, and that was important. And I was hoping to be here because I did not want to have to leave here and watch someone else coach this group, and all the time and dedication that we put into those guys, and on the reverse side, all the time and dedication they gave back to us as well.
How was the team meeting in the locker room when you told them that you were the head coach? Could you sort of see a sense of relief on some of them?
Some on one end, but on the other end, there was some sadness in terms of knowing that Coach Dempsey was going on, and those guys love Coach Dempsey as well and all that he's done for them. So they were happy on one end and then happy on the other end for him. A little bit of sadness just because they knew he was going on and they've had an opportunity to play for him, but yet they were excited for me and excited again the fact that I was going to be here and coaching this team.
You're pretty much known around with your colleagues and in coaching as a terrific recruiter. So what are some things that you look at when you're evaluating talent, when you're sitting in a gym all in July and now in April when you have those days? What are you specifically looking for in players that you're trying to bring to Rider?
Obviously, you're looking for a skill set. I'm looking for, offensively, how these guys play. Again, there's a certain style of play that we recruit to. We recruit the guys that can dribble, pass, shoot. I know it sounds simple, but it's not simple anymore because these kids there are a lot of guys out there that can't do that.
But they think they can.
But they think they can. Yeah. We're looking for guys that are kind of interchangeable players where they can play a number of different positions, athletic guys. guys that are team players, which is very important. And again, I talk team because I want my team to be a team. So I need guys that can fit into that mold, and just guys that are very interchangeable, guys that, again, play with passion. I also look at it from a standpoint how they interact with their other teammates. Are they not role models in particular, but are they leaders, or are they guys that kind of sulk on the court, or do they share the ball? So there are a lot of things that go into it. Their character goes into it. If there's a guy on the court that I just see different things coming from as far as a demeanor, or if he's yelling back at a ref, those are guys that I certainly don't want to coach. Or if there's a guy that's very selfish and just wants to shoot the whole time, those aren't guys that I'm looking for either. So it's a fit, I guess, everywhere I've been in terms of like your style of play and offensively, defensively, if those particular guys fit in your style of play or what have you.
Good. So what can our fans expect to see from a Kevin Baggett coach basketball team in the Bronx Zoo next year?
You can expect to see guys playing with passion. You can expect to see guys playing hard. I want to play a lot of guys. I want to keep a lot of guys involved. You can see the guys on the bench excited. You'll see guys getting after it hard. It'll just be a very energetic team. It'll be a very disciplined team. And that's no knock on Coach Dempsey because he did a great job with our guys, but some of the guys that I've coached under were disciplinarians. And so I'm not going to the extreme, but I always preach this to little things that make up the big things in terms of detail. So we'll be a very detail-oriented team, and we'll be a together team. Guys will be playing and playing for one another and with one another, guys that'll share the basketball, guys that'll take charges and get after it that way. Our players, I want them to go pick them up, and I want to get everybody excited, in the crowd, and I want our guys to be able to feed off the excitement coming from our crowd as well.
Good. So, looking at it, this is not going to be an easy question here, but short-term goals, long-term goals for yourself and for the team. I mean, obviously everybody's going to be like, oh, the NCAA tournament, because that kind of seems to be like the big elephant in the room that everyone kind of always harps on and kind of overlooks. Yeah, we've had 3 regular season championships in the last 10 years, but obviously that's a goal. But for yourself and for the team, what are some other short-term goals and maybe long-term goals?
Short-term goals, again, I always say this is not about me. My short and long-term goals is to recruit the best student athletes in here that can represent this university in the best way, for the guys to graduate on time, for guys to be involved with this community, go outside the community and do what's right by the Rider people to make everybody proud. Short term, I don't really talk in wins and losses and things like that. I just talk in terms of guys getting better every day. If we get better every day and guys are working hard and we're at the top of the league, it'll give us a chance to get to where we need to get to in terms of winning the championships. And again, yes, I do want to win championships. That's why I accepted this job. But on the same token, I'm not going to beat these guys over the head with that. My whole approach will be get better every day. Think about the team, how you can get yourself better, how you can make this team better. And I think all of those things will take care of itself. Long term, I want to be here at Rider. My whole focus is to keep entrenched in this community, make sure that I do the best job that I can do, make everybody proud, have fun doing it, reach out to as many alums and boosters as I can, get them back on board, keep the ones that are on board, keep them excited, and just I want to be someone that everyone can reach out to and just be proud of the program and what I stand for.
I think those are some excellent goals. So, now that does it for the basketball specific questions. That was the easy part. This chair's heating up a little bit right now. So we're gonna let our fans and our boosters and even your players, your friends,
get to know who I am now.
They're gonna get to know you just a little bit better. So now you can consider yourself officially on the hot seat. All right.
Well,
okay, now
should I start sweating?
Yeah, I didn't bring you a towel today.
I'm
but
good.
I did appreciate that yesterday in the press conference, if that's what you started with.
My head's not shiny.
No, you're not quite so shiny today.
Okay,
so, all right, now I do have to start with this one because this is probably one of my first memories of you. You had only just started here and you were going into practice, but you came running into my office. You're like, KT, I got my suit guy. My suit guy is coming to drop off my suits and my shoes, but don't interrupt me in practice. Can my suit guy just come? Can you meet my suit guy?
I do
I'm
remember.
like, a suit guy? Who the heck has a suit guy?
Right.
But you have a suit guy. And that's not my question. So, custom made suits, shoes, all this kind of stuff. So I have to ask, how many suits do you actually have?
Ooh, I got over 30 suits, and I just was at my tailor's store the other day, and I picked up 2 more. So we're looking at about 32 suits.
What about pairs of shoes?
I'm like a woman on that.
I'm not surprised.
I've got the shoes. I've got the shoes in the box still. I've got over about 20 pair, and I just ordered another pair as well.
So whose closet is bigger at home? Yours or your wife?
Oh, definitely mine. I got the long closet, and she's jamming all her stuff in the smaller closet, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I figured. Okay, next question. Who's your favorite basketball coach, college or pro?
Mike Krzyzewski, Duke University. Again, I know he gets the best players more often than not, but I just like the way year in and year out he just does things right. He's great with the community, and in fact, I've had a chance to work some of his camps, and he was great with me. And he motivates his guys. He gets the best out of them. They graduate. They come back. They're a family. And even to his own family, the support that he has at every game and things. I just enjoy watching him coach.
I won't say that I'm a Carolina fan, but I am a Carolina fan.
Okay.
So, that just is like stabbing me in the heart with that. But that's all right.
Not that I don't like North Carolina and what they do, but
I'll let you have that. That's all right. The show is about you. All right, here's the next one. You're a diehard Minnesota Vikings fan. Diehard. Oh, trust me, we all know that. Anybody who knows you knows that. Who's your favorite all-time player for the Minnesota Vikings and why?
Oh, I would say Randy Moss has got to be my favorite. Randy Moss is one of those guys where he came on the scene. I mean, obviously he had some trouble coming out of college and everything, and came on the scene with the Vikings as a rookie, and ended up taking them to the NFC Championship. And it was just exciting, and just having watched his career, and I knew he was going to do great things when he came with the Vikings. And I had a chance to meet him actually, and he's actually a good guy. I think a lot of people stereotype him in the wrong way, but I definitely love Randy Moss.
So if the Vikings make the Super Bowl and we happen to have a game at the same exact time, now there have been some times when I have provided you with Vikings updates.
That is correct.
I won't say during
recently,
games. Not recently.
That is correct.
Not recently. But like maybe at a halftime here and there, you want to know what the score. What are you going to do? The Vikings are playing the Super Bowl and we have a game at the same time.
You know what's funny? The first thing I'm going to do is try and schedule practices and games away from Sunday, so I get a chance to watch my Vikings.
I'm sure your players will appreciate that.
I know during the conference, which are kind of messing me up a little bit. I know we go Sundays, but by that time the season's pretty much over. I often told Coach Dempsey, like, that's going to be a conflict of interest if we got a game or a practice, because if they get to the Super Bowl, having been there 4 times, and I was young then, so I did not have a chance to go to any of them. I certainly would like to experience that. I am a diehard. It's almost like I'm part of their whole regime and everything, but I don't know, that's a good question.
You're no different than me. I mean, I'm a diehard Redskins fan, except for I was born in Maryland, grew up in Northern Virginia and things. So how does a South Jersey guy become a Minnesota Vikings fan?
When I was younger, I liked the color purple. And
like the actual color
or the book?
Color.
The actual
because the color purple is
right. No, not with Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, Oprah. I think it was it Oprah?
Was it? Oh, I'm sorry, it was Oprah. I'm sorry. Well, Whoopi was in there.
Yeah.
She was Nettie, by the way.
Okay,
See that?
So that's impressive. So not only can you coach, but you have an academic mind as well.
I really do. But no, I ended up liking their colors, the purple and the gold, and having watched them. They were good then. I'm not a bandwagon or front runner kind of guy. And the more I watched them, the more I liked them. The more they lost, the more I loved them. And the more they lose, the more passionate I get. I'm always saying, and I'm always saying, I'm gonna get me a new team. And then the next year, I'm right back studying them and trying to figure out when I'm gonna go to another game. So. I like the color.
So it all was just because of the color purple?
Yeah, I would say that.
I wonder if we asked Coach Witt that the reason he likes the 49ers is because they're maroon and gold or whatever they are.
That's a bad team, man.
Yeah.
They're not good.
Okay. So when you're not coaching, I know, you like to have fun. What's your favorite thing to do when you're not coaching other than maybe spend time with your family?
When I'm not coaching, I picked up a couple of different sports.
Don't say golf. Please don't say golf, because I've seen you golf.
You have seen me golf, and I'm very bad at it, but I do enjoy it. And I am going to eventually, when I get some time, take some lessons, because
you're going to need to.
I'm going to need to get out there and hobnob with the boosters and maybe, eventually become good. But really, my love is fishing.
Really?
Oh, I'm a
See, I would not have thought that about you. To just go sit for hours because you're full of energy, but sitting there waiting for fish to bite on your line, I could not see you.
No, you know what? I'm an outdoorsman first. Again, this type of weather now in the summer and everything, I get excited for it. It's an enjoy. I love the hot. I like heat. That's why I don't mind this hot seat.
Good.
Here, what do I want to call it? A little plug for the hot seat.
Yeah, a little plug for my hot seat.
I actually like fishing. I go deep sea fishing. I like looking out over an ocean and looking at that. No man could ever create something like that. The ocean, that's God made, and I enjoy fishing. I bring a bunch of friends with me. We go out there and we talk junk. Whoever catches the most fish, the biggest fish. Okay. And
it was this big, the one that got away,
The
right?
one that got away, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's a pool involved. I know we're not as coaches supposed to gamble or have any bets, but that's just something that we do amongst ourselves as friends. And that's another thing I like. And then I know you're going to really think this is corny, but I am a big Monopoly fan. Big time. If anybody out there wants to put together a Monopoly club, let me know.
We might have to do that on campus. Well, I'm sure we could get some Monopoly players from campus and do a little marketing thing with you.
I love
Monopoly tournament.
Now, I do have what I would quote unquote call my hood rules. So it's not totally the Monopoly rules.
What character are you? Race car or the top hat or the dog?
I'm the top hat. I normally like the top hat. Having to do with clothes again and all that other good stuff.
Surprise me.
But a lot of times it's funny, like I'll try and get, when we go on the road, we'll go to Niagara and Canisius, we have a long road trip. I bring my Monopoly game and we go down, we get a little lounge area somewhere, we set it up, get snacks and everything, and this thing goes on for some hours, and a lot of times I like to be the banker too, just in case I gotta steal.
Because you gotta slip up, yeah. See, I would not have guessed that about you.
So if there's any Monopoly people out there, please, let's put together a program.
There's the challenge, Rider University fans. All right, so I have a couple songs that I banned from Alumni Gym because I just don't like them, and of course our illustrious AD loves them, and it's Mustang Sally and Devil with the Blue Dress, but I just don't want to hear those during a basketball game unless it's coming from a band.
Right.
Are there any songs that you're going to want us to ban from Alumni Gym during games next year?
Not in particular, but anything with a lot of profanity or anything, which I know you don't. I know you don't. No, not really.
So you'll let us just play whatever we want.
Pretty much. I'm a connoisseur of music, so I like a variety of music. So whatever gets these guys going, they like the current music. Just so long as they get ready on the court to win games.
All right. So what's your favorite song then?
I don't know. I'm an Earth, Wind, and Fire fan, which you're not going to play out on the court.
No, September is my all-time favorite song. I call it my happy song. If I'm having a bad day, I just put that on. Boom.
Reasons is another song. I can go on and on about Earth, Wind, and Fire, which I'm a die-hard Earth, Wind, and Fire fan. I've had a chance to go and see them quite a bit. I'll travel around to go see them too. They were just in Atlantic City last year, which I went to see them, and so.
I don't think we can play any of that in there. It's not really going to get your guys hyped.
No, and I get that. I'll play that in the office while they're out in the gym warming up, so get me hyped, I guess.
All right, so here's one that I couldn't pass up when I read the article in the paper. How does it feel to know that our athletic director, when naming some of your attributes yesterday, gave you a double check on good looking?
I appreciated that. Coach Farnham he's got a good little way about him as well. I admire the way he carries himself. The one thing I do admire about him is, and I gotta say this, is he's very personable. I admire the fact that he knows all the athletes, knows them by their names. He dresses the part. He thinks the part. He has a way about him that he's very confident, and I appreciate that coming from him because, again, I'm very confident as well.
Good. So, as it's pretty well documented, I'm the marketing creative arm here, with obviously help from my trusty assistant Dante Cardi. And we brainstormed quite a bit. You walked in today. We were brainstorming a little bit about you. And I'll probably throw some very unique, creative ideas at you to get you more well-known in the rider community. Would you be opposed to wearing a Bald is Beautiful t-shirt at Freshman Move-In Day?
Not at all. In fact, I would embrace doing that.
Okay.
That sounds exciting.
Okay. Well, you're going to actually say that. What if it was like a halfy shirt and then I do something else to you? No, I'm just kidding. I
was going to be like,
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, right.
But I'm envisioning a whole campaign, particularly in light of someone you have on campus that you're speaking with today that we might be able to, you know, I'm even seeing bobblehead. I mean, what says bobblehead more than a bobblehead, right?
Exactly,
you know, we did the Bronx the last 2 years, we need something new, so.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. That'll work.
Okay, so Dante, make note of that. He's very open to whatever ideas we throw at him.
I'm sure
everyone's heard it here. So, all right, what's your favorite quote?
I would say, I can't in particular name the president, but it was something to the effect, and let me make sure I get this right. Ask not what you can do for your country, but what your country can do for you.
That would be John F. Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy.
Yes.
I've always liked that quote, and I kind of joke with our guys about it, and I'm like, ask not what the coaches can do for you, but what you can do for the coaches.
Right.
So I like that quote, and I've kind of put it in my own words a little bit with our guys, but that was a powerful quote.
Yeah, I agree. Now we are going to do some nice creative graphics and things for the new area outside the basketball offices. So we are going to need, we're thinking some quotes, those kinds of things that are, you know, key to you or key to your program. So just, that's not a hot seat question, but just something for you to be thinking about, because Dante and I are going to be hounding you for that kind of stuff pretty soon.
Well, I can tell you probably need to look at some of John Wooden's quotes too. I'm a huge John Wooden fan.
Me too, me too. In fact, I have a ton of them that I just kind of have in different spots in my office, so that'll be easy enough.
Okay.
All right, so here's your last hot seat question.
Nice.
Tell me one thing for sure that you know to be true in your life. Like for me, kind of one thing that I know and that how I try to live my life is I try to live every day to its fullest, because you don't know what could happen. So what's one thing that you know for sure to be true, or that helps guide your life?
Be true to yourself. Be who you are. Don't try and be someone that you're not. Be honest with people, and just treat people the way that you want to be treated. You know, and I really live my life like that. And you know, there obviously there's some times where, you know, the heat of the moment you might do and say things. There's some people, but then I reflect back and I'm like, man, would I want to have treated someone that way? Would I want someone to treat me that way? So I definitely think, you know, for me to be true to myself and also treat people the way that you want to be treated.
Excellent. And with that, you are now off the hot seat. I think you did pretty good. You know, no, this is kind of your first gig. You're my first coach. This is a special edition. I don't think I've had a coach on the hot seat. No, it's always been student athletes. So
I want to be on the hot seat more often.
Not too bad.
I don't want to bore anybody.
No, I think we did all right. We did all right. I mean, we didn't talk about, you know, Harry Potter like I did on the women's basketball one, but I think, you know, your Monopoly and fishing, those will be some things that maybe some of our fans didn't know about you. So that was good. So
I appreciate it.
You know, Meg, thanks for coming out, and congratulations again. You know, like I said, really happy for you. Look forward to seeing a new product on the court next year and working with you. And best of luck in the future with that.
Well, KT, Dante, Brian, you guys do a great job. I'm looking forward to taking this program and leading it going forward, and hopefully everybody will be proud of us.
Excellent. For more information on Rider Athletics or the men's basketball program in general, please check out our website at gobronx.com. I'm Karen Torsha, and you've been watching the Bronx Hot Seat. Go Bronx!